Welcome to this food safe video we put together to help guide New Zealand companies and trainees through the exciting purpose-built New Zealand certificate training. By way of background, industry training has undergone a targeted review of qualifications to ensure certificates remain useful, relevant and fit for purpose. Going forward, to keep things simple, industry qualifications will have New Zealand in their title to differentiate them from NCEA national certificates in secondary schools. What has the targeted review of qualifications meant for trainees, managers and companies, you might ask? Well, the logic driving these periodic reviews is to ensure the training continues to remain relevant. And as a result, companies, managers and trainees achieve what they need in terms of meaningful skills they can learn, benefit from and actually use on the job. A simple way to understand the outcomes method, which formed part of the review and engagement process with the industry, is to imagine an operator in the future. And then ask the question, what is the complete package of skills this team member needs to effectively contribute and excel in his or her role? The review process has now been replicated across all food sectors, including dairy, meat, seafood and general food manufacture, to name a few. So yes, these changes are food sector wide. So what else is different about New Zealand certificates? Some of the additional changes include: the number of units standards is now reduced with a tighter set of compulsory units. There's a reduction in duplication across sectors, resulting in changes to unit standard numbers. And finally, there's a renewed focus on future-proofing training outcomes, keeping in mind the rapidly changing regulatory compliance environment. So, what does the New Zealand training framework consist of, and how can you get on board? The New Zealand certificates are designed to progress intuitively and begin with a compulsory component consisting of core skills and process skills. Core skills are skills an operator needs when they're new to the role. The core skills required have now grown beyond the traditional hygiene, basic food safety and quality skills to include skills which were previously missed, such as teamwork, interaction, problem solving and basic environmental knowledge. Operators then progress to simultaneously gain process skills so they can function effectively on the job, with skills such as equipment handling, record keeping and chemical handling, to name a few. Then build on to an elective component consisting of product skills, so they better understand the products they're working with. An optional training component consisting of content and specialized job-specific skills is available for those in more technical roles. Some examples of optional training are knowledge of how to prepare for internal and external audits, CIP, HACCP, equipment automation and routine management. There's a menu of options and supplementary programs to choose from in the optional component stage to allow for unique customization by each company and trainee. What are the timeframes and levels of the New Zealand certificates? The best practice timeframe is approximately 12 to 18 months, from start of the core compulsory skills training through to optional specialization skills. New Zealand certificate assessments are flexible and include practical on-job assessments to assess whether operators are actually applying their learning back on job. This targets naturally occurring evidence of learning, such as successful third-party audits after training, for example. This is an added benefit to companies, ensuring that investment is not a waste of resources. So, what level of training do you start at? Companies and trainees ideally choose to start with a Level 3 New Zealand certificate program, then move on to Level 4 and 5 as they progress. These levels also plug directly into apprenticeship programs where applicable, including on-job learning, which could run for up to 5 years. So, why get on board with New Zealand certificate training? New Zealand's food and beverage exports are projected to double to over 35 billion by 2025. This strong growth trajectory means that year-on-year growth in some sectors will exceed 15% and create enormous pressure. In simple terms, what that means is companies are not only increasingly competing for a limited talent pool of people, just take a look at the carrots already being promised on the job search websites, but companies are also under pressure to simultaneously improve efficiency and profitability whilst meeting this projected global demand for food. Smart companies and clever management are looking beyond market fluctuations and playing the long game, not just with stainless steel and infrastructure, but by rapidly investing in human capital and high-performance engagement strategies, including training their teams. An added benefit of these quantifiable New Zealand certificates means companies improve on their regulatory audit scores when competencies are being verified against national and global standards. The right set of skills training makes the challenges described more manageable. The intuitively structured New Zealand training plans with progressing levels incentivises the team to work towards a long-term purpose and to stay loyal and motivated. Each of these positively impact your company's bottom line. Eager to know more? FoodSafe has a proven track record with operations, compliance, and human factor best practice expertise, which keeps our clients and trainees constantly up to date with the latest. We do this by working collaboratively with a wide range of stakeholders, including governance and industry advisors, leading university researchers, and your local ITO, which could also assist with partial subsidy towards your company's training goals. Give us a ring on 0800 003 097 or email us at info@foodsafe.net.nz and we'll show you how you too can benefit from New Zealand certificate training.